Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager Challenge Mode, the series where we try and make things very difficult for ourselves by inflicting a lot of self-imposed restrictions and regulations on our season. Those are all in the video description below, so please do feel free to check them out. Also, we're keeping track of the progress we're making regarding those regulations down at the bottom as well, in terms of what developments we've made, whether we've got any remaining, so on and so forth. So do feel free to check that out. Well, we are coming off the back of a painful race, a very painful race at Spa. We didn't expect to do well. We then qualified very well, kind of well, thanks to the weather. But then it kind of went a bit wrong. We were running decent pace for a while. Our drivers were showing great defensive spirit, but in the end, by deliberately kneecapping Freddie a little bit to help Felipe, that backfired spectacularly when Felipe then lost control and put his car on the wall and broke his wing and put himself completely out of contention for a strong finish. And because we kind of hobbled Freddie's pace a little bit, it ruined his race as well, to no effect. So yeah, not the greatest of results for us. You can see we finished 16th and 18th. It was always going to be a tough race going to Spa, but yeah, it was painful. But tonight we go to Zandvoort. This circuit is a little bit more varied, as you can see in the cornering. There's still a lot of high-speed stuff, but there's some medium corners thrown in there. Not our greatest, strength, medium stuff, but the slow stuff's really where we excel. But we do have a nice little slow section which leads up to the big DRS straight at the start-finish straight. So hopefully we can capitalise on good launch through that corner to at least stay in DRS contention there. We'll have to see how it goes. We've got 4 days until the race. Let's have a quick look at what we need to get done, if anything. In terms of car developments, we have a new underfloor coming in 11 days, which is our new super, hopefully, underfloor. It's our final underfloor, or super underfloor that we can make. It's the final one we can make with ours. We could, if we wanted to, make a third, make another underfloor, underfloor number 4, as long as we don't put any hours on it. But this is the last one that we can actually put hours into it. And to be honest, this is probably going to be the last major upgrade we put on the car anyway. We're probably going to start focusing on research for next season a bit stronger. We will still make the odd part here and there for the car, but we probably won't use any hours on the car at this point going forward, and just switch the focus onto next season. So that is hopefully going to be a good update for us. We won't really know until Monza just how much of an improvement that's going to be, but hopefully it will be a significant improvement. Our drivers are coming along relatively nicely. You can see we still have some work to do with Freddie's braking. At 64, it's not the greatest stat, but he is making progress. And Felipe is developing quite nicely. As you can see, he has a bit more pace, thanks to his much stronger braking. He is let down in a couple of other areas. He's not quite as smooth as Freddie. His adaptability is pretty poor, so wet races are not his specialty at all. But our staff, again, we're ticking over okay with our staff. Our engineers are not our first choices, but we're stuck with them for the next 2 and 3 years. Alessandro, we hired him. I'm very happy with him. Andrew Green, not happy with him at all, but we couldn't afford to get rid of him at the time, and so we have to ride out the rest of his contract. So he'll be with us all the way through to the end of next season, and then we'll be looking to replace him. In terms of our facilities, you can see we've got quite a few upgrades going through, but we can no longer upgrade anything in car development. That is locked out now that we've done our 2 upgrades, one to the design center and one to the CFD center. We can still refurb any department that needs a refurb, and there will be a couple of refurbs needing to be done towards the end of the season, but we can't upgrade anything else this season in that category. So with nothing else to do, let me just check actually, do we have enough spare parts for the cars? We are fine on spare parts, so let's advance some time. We've actually got our side pod research done. That's good. That frees up a slot. How you doing, Jeremy? I am doing better tonight, thank you. What am I? Oh, there we go. I was going to say my parts looked a bit weird there for a second. I kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, we have that new so that new side pod research project finished. Let's have a look at what we can research and whether we've got any hours available at the moment. Not for another 3 days. So before we do anything else, we'll advance until the front wing research is... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I see. The Grand Prix is about to start. Okay, so I've got a choice here. I could go ahead and just start working on another part for the car now, and then when the underfloor finishes, that will be our second research project, because obviously we're going to do a new one when the front wing's done, but we're not going to have any hours available until after the Grand Prix. And I did say we weren't probably going to put any more hours in the car anyway. Let's have a look. What spec are we on for everything? Spec 2 for everything apart from the underfloor, which is going to be spec 3. Spec 5 on the suspension. Where are we weakest right now? Let's have a look at the various different parts. So, actually, the easiest thing to do that is here. So our chassis isn't too bad. Engine cooling's pretty poor. Front wing's very good in the low speed. Our high speed is really bad. We do need to improve our high speed cornering. Rear wing. Ooh, yeah, rear wing needs a bit of work. It's not great. Side pods, well, we've just finished a research project. I'm kind of happy with the side pods. Don't think we need any new ones. Suspension, we've done quite a few of those. Our brake cooling is dropping down the order a little bit as other teams are developing, but we've done 4 additional suspensions. Well, 3, because they give you the second one. I don't really want to have to do another one of those. We have got that new underfloor coming, which is hopefully going to be a big improvement. So I think maybe we need to do a new front wing. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got a research project going through, so we can't do a front wing. Well, let's have a look at a rear wing then. Let's see. We want to definitely take some of the drag off the car. That is definitely a problem. We desperately need to improve our high-speed performance. We could do with improving our DRS delta as well. Let's maybe take a little bit off the low speed. Medium speed needs a boost. And you see, without any hours, we are hurting ourselves, and we can either choose to go pure speed or improve our dirty air performance, which is probably more important. So that there is kind of the best compromise we can do, I think. Maybe even that. It's not really going to give us a huge amount. I think maybe we're going to need a front wing instead of a rear wing. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait till after the Grand Prix, and then we'll have a look at what we can do. So let's have a look at our performance targets for the weekend. They're not great. I still don't know if we've got enough pace to get out of Q2 or get into Q2 on merit. I'm not 100% certain. So I'm not going to make that guarantee. We're kind of not really hurting for money anyway at the moment. We've got a lot of money that we can't really do anything with. So I'm not going to set any targets for this Grand Prix. I am going to have a quick look, see where we sit on the grid going into this race. And even our low speed advantage is being chiseled away a little bit by the rest of the grid. You can see our car really is not good in a lot of areas. Really need that underfloor to give us a big boost. Let's clear out the inbox. Let's have a quick check in with the board. The board have medium confidence in us. They are okay with results. We've had a couple of amazing results, a couple of decent results, and the rest have been pretty much what was expected. We are slightly below our target, but only by 2 points. We can catch up, I hope.
It's another historic weekend of Formula One here at...
I skipped the preamble there. I don't normally do that. Just kind of instinctive. I've been playing a couple of races earlier today, and it's just force of habit from that, I think. So this is what we're looking at weather-wise. We've got a great day today. Saturday we are going to have some rain. That could be either practice 3 or quali or both. And then clear skies in the race. So maybe we can repeat what we did at Spa, and maybe we can capitalise on that weather to at least get out of Q2 or get into Q2. Maybe even get into Q3 if we're really lucky. It depends how the rain's going to fall and how we can time our lap. Let's start first of all, as we always do, by swapping out the good parts for the crap parts. Still a little bit of life left in that engine, so we will continue to take it as far as we can. ERS modules, we'll go back to that one. We have got that those new parts activated on Felipe's car now, so we don't have to worry about penalties for him now for the rest of the season, hopefully. Let's put in that gearbox on Freddie and that one on Felipe. There we go, so the parts are done. Let's have a look at setups. So, I'm going to check both of their slider settings first of all, give me an idea which setup I want to use on which car. Okay, so we're going to want a higher wing on the front on this car by the look of it. So, let me have a look at my little book of setups that I've accumulated. I'm going to go with a 10 front wing, a 13.5 on the rear, a 5.5 on the roll bar, a 3.3 on the camber, and a 1 on the toe. That'll be our starting setup for Felipe. I'm going to go with 21 laps of fuel, I think, for this circuit. And let's have a look at Freddie's car. So I'm going to go with a lower front wing on this one. I'm going to go with a 9.5, a 13.5. I'm going to go with a 7.3 on the roll bar, a 3.05, and a 0.5 on the camber. So on the camber and the toe. So let's see how that works out. Again, we'll go 21 laps. There we go. Right, into practice we go.
Radio check. Radio check.
Okay, it's green now.
Once again, it does not look like the AI are putting in any of their reserve drivers. It's so rare that that happens. I don't think I've seen it once this season. Not that I've been not when I've been looking for it anyway. Might have slipped one in here and there when I've not really been paying attention. Right, there we go. Let's whiz some time through. See how these setups shake out. So 21 laps looks to be about the sweet spot, I think. I like to just jot down what I think is the optimal amount of laps for a starting run. Something that gives me time to get out, get some feedback on track, get a little bit of experience in, and still have time to make changes and get an identical amount of running in the second session, or the second run. And I think 21 laps looks like that's going to be the sweet spot there. I need to start thinking as well as to what we're going to do with reserve drivers going forward. We're keeping Nico until his contract expires, I think. I want to just focus on Freddie and Felipe for the next season as well. So I don't want to have a reserve driver taking time away from them. Because every time we take one of our main drivers out of a session, that's points that they don't get in experience at the end of the race weekend. Ooh, 68, that's bad. Gonna need to do a lot of changes there. 84 though for Freddie, that's a good starting point. But yeah, as I'm saying, I don't want to take one of our drivers out of any of the sessions for this season or next season, which is why Hulkenberg's got nowhere near the car. And also it's kind of pointless trying to improve Hulkenberg because he's at the end of his career. So, given that, I have no plans to end Hulkenberg's contract early because he is contracted for all of next season as well. But the season after that, I do want to get a reserve driver. Now, don't forget, we are locked in to the contracts for both Freddie and Felipe for the full 5 seasons. We can't get rid of them. And, you know, until their contracts expire. Then we can choose to either renew or replace. And so that gives us 3 seasons to choose a rookie and train them up for 3 seasons before we put them in as a potential replacement. So I need to start thinking as to who that one individual is going to be that's going to get a seat in our car. If there's anyone that you would like me to sign, start thinking about it. It's still a long way off, but have a start thinking about it. And I will take all considerations, you know, under advisement. Right, changes need to be made. How you doing, Farah? You have got your platinum then. Fantastic. Which was the last trophy you needed in the end? I'm going to try that, I think. Let's see how that works. Right, what do we need to do here? This is a bad setup. Oh, it's a very bad setup. Everything's wrong. So, it could be a 13 rear wing, but given our car, I reckon it's probably going to be a 14 rear wing. Now, I only have one 14 setup. That is a 10, a 14, an 8.2, a minus 2.85 and a 0.15. Let's have a look at that. So that gives us good changes on oversteer and braking. Cornering's a small change that's needed. Yet those changes actually look like they could work. and go straight in as a very strong setup. So we will switch to this one, and hopefully that'll work. Oh, it's your design center ones. Okay. So you're going to start Williams tomorrow, are you? Are you going to go down the route that I'm doing with this? Are you going to do a challenge mode? Or are you going to just play it as you have been playing with Red Bull and just go intense development and end up with a monster car after, 1.5 to 2 seasons? And are you going to go for young rookie drivers? Whichever way you go, be prepared for a lot of pain and suffering in the first few races. I mean, nothing is impossible. I mean, you saw that I did manage to pull off a win in just the 3rd race of the season with Williams, as I put up on the channel. There was a lot of luck involved in that, but you have to be able to capitalise on those situations when they arise. But yeah, it's going to be very painful at the start, because you're going to be so far off the pace. You might get the odd result here and there. I would say I would resist the temptation to try and just buy multiple engines, so that you've got a huge stock of brand new engines.
What do you think?
It's definitely something you can do, but I would caution against it, just simply because, again, it'll take some of the challenge out of the game, and it'll diminish the experience a little bit for you if you start getting results too good too soon. Alright, so we have improved Vesti's car a bit. Still needs a little bit of work. Massive improvement in Felipe's car, just needs a little tweak, and then that'll be good. So, not a bad session, all told. We got the cars into pretty good states, and we also got a good amount of track time as well, with no damage.
The checkered flag is now out.
Which is always a bonus. Ooh, there's a few penalties. People taking new parts by the look of it. So, Max, Lewis, Magnussen, Schumacher, Tsunoda. That's 5 drivers with penalties so far. I'm not entirely sure that all of these are penalties for replacement parts. It's possible that 1 or 2 of these might be grid penalties for a collision, either in practice, which I missed. I don't think there was a collision in practice, but it may also be an unserved penalty. Actually, no, the unserved penalties would have just been added as time penalties at the end of the last race, unless it was a collision that caused a retirement, in which case it would then get added to this race as a grid penalty. So yeah, we'll have to see. Right, second practice. We are going to put on the hard tyres. Still need to change the roll bar. So this was a 5.5. We went to a 6.4. Was this the 7? No, this was a 7.3, wasn't it? We went to a 6.4, and it's still not enough. So I'm going to go to a 5.5 on this one. Let's see. Need to tweak that back to there. That just about fixes the front wing again. Need to change the toe slightly. That's where that needs to be. So let me see if I can correct it the other way. Let's try that. We're going to go with Let's see how many laps I want to do. Let's go with 28 laps of fuel. As for Felipe, just a minor change needed here. So I need to pull in the camber a little bit and hope that I don't break. Actually, am I gonna break too much there? The traction's a minor change. It might be a little bit too much. Well, we can try. We can try it and see what happens. We can always push that back and then just tweak the toe if we need to. I do get the feeling that it's just going to need to be a minor change like this, though. You know what? I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that change and see if that's enough. And again, we're going to go with 28 laps and drop the pace again. There we go. Into practice 2.
Radio check. Radio check.
Radio check.
Very slow out of the pits there. Right, we should probably get Felipe to pull over. Oh, maybe not actually. He does look to be a little bit faster. At the moment, anyway. Yeah, we'll leave him like that.
I think someone's run wide.
Alright, under the VSC. Who's crashed and where? I get the feeling it might be a McLaren.
Single yellow.
Oh no, Sonoda's out. Oh, turn 1.
We've just had a crash.
He's
on
been
the
having a
track.
really
Take a
rough
look
few
now.
races.
Now look at this. It was the Alpha Tauri driver involved.
Oh, he nearly hit us as well.
Thank goodness
Oh,
nobody
that's
else
a big
was
crash.
involved. That was a big crash.
I can see why that's a retirement. Significant damage to the car there. Oh, we nearly nailed it. We're just 1% off. That's a little single tweak of the toe, and that'll be a 100% setup. What about Felipe? Oh, we only gained 1%. Okay, we can work on that. Oh no, Jeff Beck's dead.
Oh, we've had a spin.
Ooh, bacterial meningitis, nasty. Ah, that's sad news. Amazing guitarist. Uh, 78. So, you know, he's had a good run. Even so. Still not great news. Right, we didn't actually get any improvement at all there, did we? Really? So, I think I'm going to have to do that and hope that that doesn't break anything. We've done enough for this session. We're not going to run again. We will wait until FP3 to try out those new setups. Just got to run out the clock now. Yeah, if you're going to mention guitarists, you know that he stands alongside, yeah, Eddie Van Halen is right up there. Okay, so Sonoda's got a penalty now as well. So, oh no, he had a penalty going into this Grand Prix already. It's just he's lower down the order because he only did those 4 laps. So, ooh, that's new engine parts that he put in the car, and then he's knackered or damaged some of them. That's not going to go down well. Taking the best life out of those components before they've even had a chance to run in a race. Right. We have potential rain in this session. Hopefully not, but you never know. I'm going to go with 30 laps of fuel in case it stays dry. We can always adapt on the fly. We've made the changes to the setup. I am actually going to go in and double check that those setup changes have actually been recorded, because they didn't in the last race. Yeah, that looks like it there, and that's definitely the same there. That's changed. So yeah, practice 3. Are we going to get rain here, or are we going to get it in quali? I'm hoping for quali.
Radio check.
Yes, we're going to get the rain in quali.
Radio
Nice.
check.
Okay, it's green now.
So hopefully these changes are exactly what's needed. It was just that minor tweak that we needed for Freddie. I think we've gone the right way. I mean, we can always correct and go the opposite way if we did get it wrong, but it's only going to be a 1% change either way. As for Felipe, I'm a little less confident with the change on this one, but a 97 will be enough once he gets to 100% track knowledge. So we can always roll back if this setup ends up being worse, without fear of compromising for the race. This engine's now pretty much on its last legs, I think. Let's see what it's up to now, or down to. 14%. Oh, there's still another session or two left in it, I would imagine. The ERS module is burning out as well, but there's still some life left in that too. Oh wow, big crash right behind us. Thought we were part of that for a second then.
Sounds like there's been contact. Let's take a look at the replay.
Let's see how close we were. Look how yeah, we're causing a traffic jam again, look. Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's 3 cars gone.
There's been a crash. Sounds like a single car.
Okay, Behrman and Crawford won't have been recommended because they're not day one signings. Crawford you can't sign until about a third of the way through season 2. Because the young drivers have to have had 2 complete seasons of competition in either F2, F3 or combination of both. Now Jack gets his 2nd season complete at the end of season 1, but young drivers also need to be at least 18 before you can offer them a contract, and Jack doesn't turn 18 until about a third of the way through the 2nd season. So at that point you can then sign him as a reserve driver or as a main driver if you really wanted to, which I wouldn't recommend. As a reserve though, he's got huge potential. Oliver Behrman is 16 with really strong stats for a 16-year-old. He's better than a lot of the drivers that are older than him, but he's only in his 1st season and he's only 16, so you have to go through 2 full seasons of racing before you can sign Behrman, because he's got to get those 2 seasons of competition under his belt and he's got to turn 18 as well. So he's a season 3 driver, season 3 reserve driver. Crawford is a some point in season 2 reserve driver. Drivers like Piastri, obviously you can sign them from day 1. He's old enough, he's had the experience. Felipe is obviously a day 1 driver. You can see that because we're using him. Vesti's another good one.
What's your thoughts coming in or doing any more?
There we go. We did get it right with Vesti's car. That's good to see. Doohan is another good one. His tyre wear is atrocious, but you can work around that for the first season, and then maybe throw a couple of points onto his smoothness, get him up to say 60
Virtual safety car ending.
at some point in season 2.
How does it feel?
But of all the young drivers, Porsche is obviously another very good one as well. If you are patient enough to develop him, then yes, he's an excellent prospect as well. But Piastri is, the class-leading driver in terms of young reserve drivers that you can sign straight away. You can't overlook all drivers. What will happen is that the AI will randomly assign a lot of experience points to the guys in F2 and F3 to help them level up. So they will level up quickly, but it's a scattergun approach. The points are just allocated, you know, to no specific order. With a driver that you develop, if you hire him and then you give him a few run-outs here and there, then he will develop at a slower rate, but it will be a more focused development because you will be able to put those points exactly where you want them. So you can concentrate in on key individual statistics rather than just a blanket approach where every stat might get a boost of 1 or 2 points across the season. You can put all of those potential points into just one particular stat if you really wanted to. If you do sign a reserve driver and then you put him in every FP1 session, he will develop at about the same rate as the AI developed younger drivers. But again, it will be focused development. You will choose where all of those points go, whereas the AI just randomly distributes them across the entire stat profile.
Understood.
So
Just pit limits.
you don't have to make an immediate decision on a driver. You can always let the AI just give them a generic boost for a season or so and then have another look at them. But if you want to take a particular driver and really focus in on a couple of key stats, the best way to do that is to hire them yourself. Right, we need just a slight tweak. I'm going to go with that, I think. Actually, I might go with that. Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, exactly. That's why you make sure you put the driver in as many sessions as you can, just to really develop him nice and quickly in terms of development, keeping him at the same pace as the AI boosted development in the background. But you're focusing that development in exact areas that you want to develop rather than just a scattergun of points across the whole profile. So whereas all of their stats might get a couple of points as a boost, you can put multiple points into just one individual stat and really give that a big solid boost, or just 2 or 3 stats and really boost their pace category, for example. You know, boosting their braking, their braking, their cornering, and their reactions.
Good session.
It's why in our Williams career, I never put Logan in every race. You know, I wanted to give him a little bit of a boost by focusing in on the areas where I knew he was weak, so that when he did get released, he would be a better driver in the important areas rather than just in random areas. Because I always knew that I was going to sign Behrman in that career. But I wanted to give Logan a chance of getting a race seat going forward, and if he did get on the grid, making him, giving a boost, a little leg up in the areas where he needed it the most. Whereas with our Haas career, we were putting Sargent in every single race because the plan was to develop him, to put him in the car. So he was getting into every FP1 session in the Haas playthrough, because that was always the plan for him. You know, we wanted an American driver leading that American team. Right, there we go. That's the parts swapped over. Happy with the setups, so let's go qualify.
Radio check.
Alright, let's see what kind of time we can do. Hopefully we'll get a clean run. No traffic. It's looking okay for that so far. Oh, we never checked to see about the weather, did we? Oh, it's not going to rain in this session. Ah, damn it. The rain's going to come in a later session. Well, if we can somehow squeak out of this session, and we then get rain in the next session, that means we have an outside chance of getting whichever driver can get through, which is probably going to be Felipe. We have an outside chance of getting him into the top 10. Depending on when that rain falls. You can see it is getting a little overcast. There is no rain scheduled on the thing there, but it is a 40% chance in every single one of those windows, so it's not beyond the realm of possibility that we might get some rain in this session. It's just highly unlikely. A bit grim with Williams. You'd just be looking to get rid of the current pair ASAP. Well, Albon has got potential. With a few tweaks to his stats in the right areas, he can develop into a very quick driver, and he's not so old that his experience multiplier is horrendous. You know, he's still got youth on his side. He still has a positive multiplier. It's not a big positive multiplier, but he still has a slight positive multiplier. Latifi, not a great driver. Of the starting drivers, he is the worst on the grid. But if you decide you want to do the Go Latifi thing, you know, as so a lot of people have done, you know, then you can develop Latifi into a world champion. It is possible. You know, it's possible with any driver on the grid. You know, give them enough time and focus the points in the right way and develop a very strong car. Anyone can be a world champion.
Into the pit.
Copy that. So use pit limiter, pit limiter.
Right, let's get on some fresh tyres. We'll wait till the end of the session and make another run then. Pace isn't looking great. We are, what, 7/10 off Schumacher? That's not Not great. The important one, though, to look for is the McLarens. They're who we're in a fight against. We're battling them for 8th place in the championship. There goes Norris. And there goes Ricciardo. So Norris, oh, he's only 3/10 faster. That's doable. I'm actually surprised Drogovic is so far off the pace. Maybe he was just in dirty air. Maybe I should space my drivers out a bit more. There we go. Hopefully I've not gone too early. Evening, Mr. Water. And here comes the rest of the field, so we should be okay, I think. Right. We might actually... Well, actually, no, looking at that, I was going to say we might actually be able to get one of our cars through here, but I'm looking at the cars at the bottom. Tsunoda, yeah, might struggle. He has damaged his car. Whether or not he'll be able to get a clean run here and go faster is anyone's guess. Bottas has a very poor run. He's going to improve for definite. I would imagine Tsunoda will as well. Alonso is going to improve. I would imagine Zhou might improve. I think this is going to be a real struggle to just get close to Ricciardo. Felipe's up in the first sector. And so's Freddie. That's good. Second sector improvement. Okay, this is good. I'm expecting Felipe to be faster. So this is what we want to see. Vesti's improving as well. Also good. I could theoretically push Felipe for another lap, but I'm not going to. He goes up to 14th, but that's a temporary thing. He is going to get knocked down. And Vesti improves his time, but not his position. Okay, so Tsunoda has improved quite substantially. Bottas is going to improve. Alonso is going to improve. Alonso coming around the last corner now. Driving up to the line. Oh yeah, big improvement. He goes 7th. Bottas coming out of the final turn now. And Bottas goes 8th. So, yeah. Rough. But we're not too far off Zhou. So maybe we can use Zhou as a bridge to stay with the McLarens. Maybe we can capitalise on better strategy in the race. So let's see. Magnussen has got a penalty as well as Schumacher. Is that an extra penalty? It is. We've got an extra penalty. Oh, and Zhou's got a penalty as well. So he's really off the pace, and yet he's still down, getting a penalty. Maybe that's a collision carried over from the previous race then. But both the Haas are taking penalties. That's probably one of the reasons why they are so much faster at the moment. They might be taking brand new engines. Same with Yuki. Maybe. Max looking mighty fast. He's going to be fighting his way through the grid.
Drivers are strapping themselves in, ready for race day.
There was some good work from Aston Martin during the qualifying session, and they will go to the grid full of confidence. McLaren did a decent job during qualifying. This is a solid grid position, and it certainly has the potential to lead to good race results. A sunny day here with only a few clouds in the sky. If things stay this way, the weather shouldn't pose any challenges to the teams.
So let's see how the teams tackle this race today here at the Dutch Grand Prix.
Nice super slow-mo of Norris getting into the car there. Right, strategy for this Grand Prix. I'm going to go, I think, probably with this. It does look to be the fastest of the three. Can I tweak this a little bit? I'm going to go with that. I know I'm definitely getting lapped at least once in this Grand Prix, so I'm taking a lap of fuel out. How much is that taking out? 1.5 kilos. You know what, Max is going to be so fast. Even starting a bit further down the order, he's going to be so fast. And Perez is fast as well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take 2 laps of fuel out. Oh, we did go slightly the wrong way there, but it's still going to be a fine for the race. Right. Strategy for Felipe. Again, we're going to go with the soft, medium, soft. If we get an early safety car, we can go soft, medium, medium. If we get a late safety car, we'll have to see what happens. If we get one about halfway through our medium stint, again, we can throw on a set of mediums and go to the end that way. We do still have a set of hards in reserve as well. So we have options. We have a few options here for the race.
Now we should have good weather for the race, and that will be welcome news for the teams. Taking a look at the Aston Martin. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. There's the second Aston Martin. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. Everything's been building to this. The drivers are ready, and the crowds are waiting. It's the Dutch Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, can we get a good start? What's everyone else doing tyre-wise? Everyone in front of us is on softs. We've got mediums behind us. I think we might have we've just jumped one of the McLarens there. Very nice. Where is Verstappen? He's in 9th. Okay. Hamilton's at the back. Yuki is in 18th. Schumacher 19th. Where is Magnussen? He's 10th. Okay. Ricardo got back ahead of us, but we're still fighting it in there. It's going to be a bit of a traffic jam going into the next corner after this, as Felipe jumps underneath his teammate there. I'd rather they were fighting against the car in front than each other.
This is good, come on.
Freddie wins out. Freddie's looking very racy actually here at the start. Ricardo having to go very defensive. Right, now it's time for us to throw in a bit of battery.
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
Copy.
DRS enabled.
Right, let's see if we can get a good run through the hairpin and then try and get a break and clean out up the hill. He's having a look. I don't even need to tell him to find clean air. He's looking for it at the moment. He's really going for it. We will tell him to move over in the DRS zone though. If he gets a good enough run. Oh, he's doing it again, automatically. We want to try and maximise the slipstream before we do pull out. Again, Ricardo is going defensive. He's got the pace on us at the moment. Right, let's save the battery for now. With Ricardo getting DRS off the back of Norris, it's making it very difficult to try and get a move done. Let's keep an eye on the gap between our two drivers now that we've turned the battery deployment off for Freddie. See if Felipe is going to start closing in back down again. If he is, I might swap them over and give Freddie a chance to charge back up again. Hamilton is trying to make his way through. He's in a scrap with Schumacher and Albon right now. There it is behind us. And Leclerc is breaking away at the front of this Grand Prix. Verstappen's still stuck at the moment. But if he gets himself into clean air, he will just start rocketing up the order again. Yeah, Felipe is definitely a bit quicker. Let's
We just need to charge up.
Yeah, copy.
let's start charging Freddie a little bit. Let's give Felipe a bit more impetus as well.
Use energy.
Yep, copy.
We'll try and do this pass in the DRS zone. Alright, there we go. Hamilton's through and has already blitzed away from Schumacher there. He's on soft tyres as well. He's going to be very racy. I'm going to have to stop charging Freddie. Otherwise he's going to be an absolute sitting duck for Hamilton. Ooh, sector 1 yellow. It's a Ferrari. It's Leclerc. He was leading and he's going to drop so far down the order.
Let's see what happened there. Okay, here's the Ferrari.
He was completely free and clear, no pressure whatsoever, and he just spins out.
And that was a bitter blow for the team.
Oh, where's he going to end up? He's behind us. He's going to be back. He's going to be at the back of the grid. There you go. Finally gets underway. Oh, that's a disaster for Leclerc. He's gone from leading this race by about 3 seconds to being last by 3 seconds. Look how much ground he's lost. He'll start cutting his way through the field, but it'll take him a while to do it. Right, let's give our drivers both a little push.
Energy if you need it.
Okay, copy.
Try and close back up onto the
Copy.
McLarens again. We're going to need to keep Freddie in DRS of Felipe to hold off Hamilton for a bit longer. And if he does get past, then Felipe is going to need the DRS of Ricciardo to hold back Hamilton. And Ricciardo's finally dropping out of Norris's DRS as well, so that means he's going to be vulnerable now. We'll actually have a chance if we've got the battery to use. I think we just about made it into the zone there. Yeah, Felipe got the DRS. Excellent stuff. We've had to kill our battery to do it. If we can hold back the Mercedes for a while, we have got a chance of getting past one of the McLarens. Leclerc is already past Latifi. Took him one lap to close and pass. And Schumacher's caught back up now. So that's another car joining this little scuffle here. I think Hamilton might have a lunge up the inside here. Nope, we just about hold him off. He's swarming all over the back of us at the moment. But we saw some amazing defensive driving from Freddie at Spa, able to hold back, you know, much faster cars for a very long time before they finally, you know, broke through. Can we see another performance like that here today? Even with the DRS, we are still struggling to catch up to Ricciardo. The advantage we're gaining on the straights with that DRS, we are losing in the corners. We desperately need the improved downforce of that new floor. Farah says he's been introduced to a handful of new courses playing this. Interesting how much you used to love watching Monaco on TV, but it's now probably your least favourite, too much of a procession. Yeah, Monaco has always been a procession. Well, not always, not for a... not if you go all the way back to the quote-unquote glory days. You know, when cars were basically rocket-powered bathtubs on wheels, but... yeah, for at least the last 30 years, it's been very processional. You know, you get the odd race here and there where you get some good overtaking, but more often than not, you see drivers just get stuck, and there's nothing they can do. I mean, we saw it a couple of years ago with Hamilton being held up by Alonso for so long, and that completely ruined his chances of a decent finish in the race. Verstappen with a
Let's
lockup.
have a look. Now here we see Max Verstappen. And this, yes, there, that's the lockup.
Oh, that's not great for him. You can go back further. David Coulthard was in contention for a race win at the start of the Grand Prix, and then he pitted early and he got stuck behind. I forget who it was. I think it might have been. Was it Trulli? And that was it. That was his race done, basically. He was stuck behind that car for the rest of the race, unable to overtake despite having a significantly faster car. 1992, Mansell absolutely dominating the Grand Prix, got a puncture, and has to limp around and get back in for fresh tyres. Senna gets through, and yeah, it's Senna. He's a master of that circuit, but his McLaren was woefully underpowered on that circuit compared to the FW14B, and Mansell closed the gap ridiculously quickly and was all over him, like right on his gearbox for the last half a dozen laps or so. Impossible to get through. Monaco has always been one of those races where it's very prestigious, and it's a real challenge for the drivers keeping their focus and concentration for that length of time, but it is just more often than not a procession. Yeah, we just could not keep pace with Ricciardo in the end. Maybe it's a tyre thing. I don't think it is. I think it's just a car performance thing. Yeah, tyre wear is pretty much the same. So it's just a car performance thing. We just don't have the dirty air performance. We lose too much ground in the corners. Alright, I'm taking a risk here. Trying to charge up Freddie. But he needs to get just a little bit of battery in the car, so he can react if he needs to. Leclerc's up to 15th. Verstappen's all the way down in 19th now. Oh, and here comes Hamilton. Can we hold him? No, he gets up the inside. Alright, well, maybe we can use Hamilton because he's going to get past Felipe now. Felipe's got no DRS to hold him back. But maybe we can stay with him and use him to claw back the gap to the McLarens again. Oh, and here comes Leclerc. All over the back of Schumacher now.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Sainz and Perez just in a race of their own right now. They are comfortably ahead of Bottas. Then it's Alonso, Russell, Ocon, Magnussen, Gasly, Norris, Ricciardo. It's a very unusual top 10. Hamilton's not there, Leclerc's not there, Verstappen's not there. Both McLarens are in the top 10. We're right behind the top 10. You know, it's a very strange running order right now, and we've already been dropped by Hamilton, which is kind of what I was expecting, unfortunately. We are just lacking pace in so much of the in so many different areas on this car. Evening, Packins. Haven't seen you for a while. Have you missed much tonight? No, not massively. I mean, we had a decent start. We've gone with an aggressive two-stop strategy. Leclerc spun out while leading the Grand Prix and is now down in 15th, having dropped all the way to the back of the grid. Verstappen locked up and dropped from, I think, 8th place down to, what, 17th now. He was 18th, I think, at one point. But Verstappen was already starting lower down the grid anyway because of a penalty. We're running higher than I was expecting, partly because of driver penalties, partly because of mistakes from Leclerc and Verstappen. But yeah, in terms of race drama, there hasn't really been any so far. And we have no defence for that Ferrari. It's just too good a car. Losing out to Schumacher was not part of the script, though. Right, when are we scheduled to stop? Lap 22 and lap 23. Let's have a look at everyone else's tyres. Tyre wear is pretty comparable. Is anyone really struggling at the moment? Doesn't look like it. All the front runners who used all their soft tyres in qualifying started on mediums. They may be going medium hard. They can certainly do a medium hard here. It is definitely a viable one-stop strategy. Anyone on softs is probably going to two-stop. I don't think you can go soft hard here. I think it's a little bit too extreme. But medium hard is definitely viable. Verstappen is all over the back of Vesti right now, who's getting past actually. Yeah, he's starting to struggle a little bit. Tyres are starting to get a little bit squiffy at 60%. Verstappen's medium's a little bit more worn than the rest of the field thanks to that big lockup he had, but not horrendously worse. I think I will probably bring Vesti in first. Try and get him a couple of laps of running in clean air to maybe overcut. Actually no, Schumacher and Leclerc and Verstappen, they're all on mediums against the soft, so won't really be able to overcut those guys. Or sorry, undercut those guys, because once Freddie pits, they will stay out for a few more laps. I don't really want to pit Felipe too early, but I don't want to leave him out there just to hold up cars that are much faster than us, just to give Vesti a little bit of a boost, because it just won't help us out in the long run. We'll let these guys fight amongst each other.
On fuel.
Maybe they can do something stupid like take each other out. God, they're going 3 wide through all of these corners. This is crazy. I've never seen this before. I've seen cars go side by side through there, you know, through multiple corners like that, but never 3 wide through multiple corners. That was bonkers. I know I use that word a lot in my F1 commentary, but you know, this game does throw up some truly bonkers moments. They're getting a lot of rain as well. Yeah, it's been pretty rainy here for the last couple of days where I am as well. It's not been torrential or anything like that, but it's just been constant. Oh, we've had a spin. Who's spun? One of the Alpines. That's Alonso. Oh, no. Maybe it was Bottas and he held up Alonso.
And there it is. That's where they spin out.
Unless Alonso spun as well. It looked like Alonso was held up there. Unless it was Ocon I was looking at. I don't know. It just looked like one of the Alpines was going slow there. And look how much of a gap Leclerc's pulled out in 1 lap, over 2 seconds. And there goes Verstappen.
Still gained a place.
Drivers are too close to each other to really pull off a double stack here. We've only got, what, 2.2 seconds between them. I'm trying to debate which one to pull in first, Freddie or Felipe. I think I am going to go with Felipe as the second driver. At the very least, it should give Freddie the chance to catch back up to Felipe so that they can run together. Oh, and that's a pit stop behind for Sonoda. Okay, so we do definitely need to pit this lap.
Take confirm. Good.
Which means we need to box on the next lap here as well. In fact, actually, do I swap them over to maintain track position with Felipe? That might be the smarter call. I was hoping I could get my drivers back together again so they could help each other out, but
With an overtake there.
yeah, we need to maintain track position over Sonoda, so we're going to delay Freddie by a lap, and we're going to give Felipe priority. And honestly, out the two, I think Felipe is struggling a little bit more than Freddie right now. There we go. Felipe into the pits. Medium tyres going on. Yuki is just coming out of the final corner now. There he is. It's such a slow exit to the pit lane here. We just kept track position. That's good. That was important. Sonoda is also on medium, so he is going to be two-stopping as well. Right, let's slam on the anchors a little bit.
So I'm entering the pit now.
Alright,
Yeah,
can we get a
copy
good
that.
stop for Freddie?
He's pitting it up.
He's going to come out behind those two, I think. It's going to be close. I think they're just going to get him. Yeah, there we go.
You can use energy. Use energy. You can use energy.
Copy.
Use energy.
Yep, copy.
I think Snow's going to get the DRS. It's going to be close. It's going to be tight. didn't see his rear wing open. I think we got away with that. Alonso into the pits now. Alonso out of the pits. Yeah, he's a long way ahead of us. Freddie is almost on the back of Tsunoda. Got no battery left. I really need to get him charged up, but he's got to be in the DRS to do that. He's just about made it. Can he stay there? Oh, he's just about to drop out again. Oh, we're so slow. We just lose so much time through these medium speed corners. And Vesti's braking stat does not help either. We're about to get lapped. Sainz is coming round. There he is. Can't believe this race is going to be more painful than Spa. Still, plenty of other cars yet to pit. Let's have a look. Latifi, Zhou, Albon, Schumacher, both the McLarens, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Gasly, most of the field basically. That's who's pitted. Just us, Tsunoda and Alonso. Just 4 cars, is that it? Okay. Maybe more cars are going one stop than I thought. So Vesti cannot keep pace with Yuki. That is unfortunately becoming very apparent. Felipe can just about stay ahead of him. We are closing in on the back of Latifi. Just to go a pit stop ahead. I want to clear him with minimal fuss here. Okay, we have cars coming in. These are going onto hard tyres. I still think there might be 2 stopping. Yeah, they've all gone hards, look. Norris coming in. Norris going hards as well. We're too far behind, really, to capitalise on Norris at his pit stop. But if he's going to go slow on those hard tyres, maybe we can catch him. Because he wasn't massively faster than us earlier. Latifi gets out of the way. Vesti has been lapped. Sainz yet to pit though, so maybe we can use those tyres to actually stay with the Ferrari for a little bit. If we're lucky. I would use battery to stay with him, but I just don't have any. Yeah, his Ferrari's gone already, look. There goes that idea. The gap is now down to just half a second here. That's not so good. We're 7.5 seconds off the back of Norris. Let's keep an eye on that gap. if we don't have a pace advantage on these tyres, we're in real trouble. When's my next big update? What, in terms of components? Yeah, the underfloor. It's coming for the next race. It's coming from Monza. And that's going to be the last big update, I think, for the car for this season. I think we're going to focus more heavily on research for next season. Am I confident of ultimate success with these restrictions, or have we entered the unknown? In terms of ultimate success, it depends by what you're defining ultimate success. You know, just championship wins or championships within a certain time frame. You know, I don't think either the drivers or the car will be in a position after 5 seasons. Oh, look at that, we're right behind Ricciardo. And he's on hards as well. Alright, now we've got a real chance to see if we can capitalise. I mean, there's an element of the unknown. I think the car is going to get better and better as we develop it, even with the restrictions. Next season's going to be tough. We're going to have a lot of hours to play about with, but those restrictions apply to pre-season as well, so we can only make 2 underfloors with hours from January 1st to December 31st, the entire calendar year. So we've really got to pick when we bring those big upgrades to the car next season, because all the pre-season was done for us in this in season 1. So we went in with a pre-built car, and they even gave us a free suspension, as they always do. In season 2, we have to do all that pre-season car development ourselves, and those restrictions still apply to that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how and when we bring those updates next year. Our drivers are still a way off being where they need to be. They need at least 1 more season of development before they can start being really competitive, I think, in terms of pace stats. The car, I don't know about next season in terms of how the car's going to shake out. But yeah, I think with enough time, with these restrictions, I can still win both championships. It's just a question of how long it will take. I mean, like I said, we are locked in with both Freddie and Felipe for 5 seasons, so they're not going anywhere for, you know, a long time. At the end of those 5 seasons, it's open season on whether or not we re-sign them, or we promote a young driver, or we sign a more established veteran race driver. You know, and I can't predict what I'm going to do with that yet. Ideally, I would like to keep at least one of the 2 drivers and promote a young driver, but it depends. It all depends on where we are in the championship standings, how the car development's going. If we can't make big steps in development, which is probably going to be the case, and we can only make small little jumps, and in 5 years' time we're still in the midfield, but maybe the upper midfield, and we are in a position to maybe challenge for the odd win here and there, then you know, we're in kind of, like I say, an Alpine kind of situation, where we're up there, but we're not quite there, kind of thing. Or maybe a 2022 Mercedes situation.
We're not okay on fuel.
Where we've got a fast car, but it's not a consistent race-winning car. It's a car that has a lot of potential for a win, but it needs good drivers and a little bit of luck. Then we may have to put an established driver in just to give us that opportunity. What's really going to slow things down in terms of car development as well is apart from obviously not using intents for development, is the restriction of only 2 upgrades in the entire car development category for facilities per season. So we've done one on the design centre to give us the extra engineers, and we've done an upgrade to the wind tunnel, to the CFD simulator. Next season we'll be upgrading the wind tunnel and probably the car park test centre. But it means it's going to be a long time, a very long time, till we can get that level 4 design centre. I don't think season 3 I'll be competitive for championships. I think if, season 4, I think we'll be in the hunt for podiums. I think season 3, the target for season 3 is regular points finishes. Next season I'm hoping to just move up into the lower half of the midfield, because we're not quite there yet. We're still pretty much a back running team. I'm hoping to be sort of in the midfield mix next season a little bit, towards the lower end of the midfield.